On mute. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was definitely on mute. Yeah, no, what I was saying is that every single Monday we're here and we're ready to go. This is my pledge to you, unless there is a Monday that I need to take off for, like, you know, a long weekend or something of that nature. I'll let you know ahead of time. But every Monday we're going to be here, and today we're talking about some things I wish I knew before I entered into the videography space, and I'm really excited to talk about this because I found out something that I don't even know if it's entirely true, but I'm going to throw it out there and you tell me if you think this might be true or not. Chat GPT told me this, but I've been looking for the fact to back it up or the article that it's linked to. This is the stat that 70% of freelance videographers close their business within their first year. Which is crazy, absolutely wild number, but it could be true. It may be just complete cap, but it is what it is. What I do know to be true is that 20% of businesses don't last their first year in businesses, and that number goes up to 50% of businesses do not last after 5 years. Of trying to make it work, and that's just the reality of it. But yeah, there are just a few things that I kind of want to kind of just talk about a little bit here, but I'm not just going to be talking. It's going to be a little bit more interactive. You guys are going to be in some way, shape, or form scrolling with me as well, so I'm excited to do things this way. I'm just setting it up really quickly. I thought I had this up, but I guess this is not fully ready just as yet, and that should not be playing. But give me 1 second and I promise that we will get started here. But yeah, so essentially what we're going to be doing is we're talking about those things that that can be seen as obstacles when it comes to being in this industry in particular. And there are a lot of obstacles because the reality is this is a very competitive space. Whether you're a videographer or maybe you're a photographer, it definitely is a competitive space. And there are some things that can be done to help us get past these obstacles, and I'll be sharing a few of those things. And how we're going to do this is that I'm going to share a reel corresponding to the thing that is an obstacle, and then we're going to talk about it for briefly a few seconds here. And my goal is to be finished in 15 minutes. I'm not trying to keep you here long in any way, shape, or form, so we're going to get to it. All right, here we go. Let me share this screen with you guys here. Actually, I'm going to bring this over here. There we go. All right, let me know if you can see my screen. All right, cool. So yeah, we're going to be talking about these things in just 1 second. But the very first thing that I find can be a little bit disheartening is inconsistent income. And there's this reel that I saw that somebody sent to me, and all of these reels are people that have sent me things that I just wanted to share with you guys. So this is what it is. Here we go. So yeah, as you can see, it's just one of those reels where it's just basically talking about this guy who's making $10,000 a month, and he breaks down how he can do that. But before he got there, I don't exactly know if he started out the gate making $10,000 a month, but the reality is I have experienced a month where I've made $8,000, but I've also experienced months where I didn't make much, maybe $1,200 or something of that nature as well. There's slow moments, there's high moments as well. It's the ebb and flow of business, but the reality of it is, you guys can't see it. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the reality of it is that it's not yeah, I'm sorry if you guys can't see the reel. I'm just seeing that you guys that you're putting this down in the chat. But basically, it's just a guy that's saying that he made $10,000, and he breaks down how much work he had to do in order to get to that 10,000, which is 8,000. Not 8,000. 8 shoots per month, 2 shoots per week. $1,250. I'm pretty sure this is USD per client. Yeah, the reality is that like not everybody's going to come out the gate making that much money right off the bat. You kind of have to grow to that, and there is this uncertainty of like, am I going to make money this month or am I not going to make money this month? But I'm finding that there's only uncertainty in making money in a month when you don't have a game plan, when you don't have a marketing strategy and different things of that nature. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And this is a complete bust because the reality is I wanted to show. Oh, okay, cool. Here it is. Let me know if you can see it now. I think I finally figured it out. I'm still new to this whole live streaming thing, but I'll show this one more time here. Yeah. You should have been able to see that there, but like I said, this is just the guy breaking down how much he makes in a month and how much work you have to put in order to make that much money. So yeah, that's the very first thing is that funds can be really inconsistent sometimes. And the other thing is high competition. We already kind of talked about that. With this high competition comes the pressure to figure out how you can stand out from the rest of individuals that are kind of like you. And if you were to like just scroll through the explore page here, you would see so many different creators just talking about the gear that they have. And I follow a lot of content creators around the video space and so on, and they're you know, they do a lot of work. They get a lot of views and likes and different things of that nature, and that can be really disheartening when you really think about it, that like, you know, you're trying to do your best. You're trying to put yourself out there and you put yourself out on social media and so on, but you're in a very large sea of content creators around the videography and filmmaking space. This industry is definitely oversaturated. So how do you stand out? And the way that I'm thinking about things and how I'm approaching things, and like I said, I'm not a guru. I don't have all the answers or anything of that nature, but this is what I am doing. Is I'm not necessarily worrying about anybody else or how they're going about doing things, but I'm just gonna do what I know works for my business and pushes me out of my comfort zone. And somewhere along the line, we'll figure out the things that people want to see and different things of that nature. But the most important thing is showing up, being consistent, pressing post, doing the work that I need to do in order to market myself and put myself out there to stand out from the rest of the people. So it's just being unapologetically yourself, which makes you different than everybody else, because there's so many filmmakers and videographers and photographers and all these different types of people that is within the industry. But just show up as yourself and you're already different from everybody else. At least that's what I'm gonna do, and yeah, we'll see how that works out. One of the things that I knew was going to be very interesting to navigate, but I didn't realize how how much of an obstacle this would be is gear is expensive. it is so expensive. Like there's so many things that I would love to have in my filmmaking and videography bag, but honestly, I just don't have the money to do it. Just being able to do the things that I've done now, I've had to invest a large amount of money into my business, into the gear that I use, and so on. And pretty much every single thing that I have has a purpose, and it's very difficult to kind of to kind of wrap your head around the amount of money that you sometimes have to spend. And then there are times when you need things and you're kind of strapped for cash and you just have to white knuckle it and use what you have in particular. And the reality is you don't always have to buy new. You really don't. There are other things that you can do for yourself to help yourself out in some way, shape, or form. And here is a reel that I saw that I think that many of us can probably, understand. In particular, if you're in this industry, I think it's a really cool thing to consider thinking this way when you're thinking of gear and how expensive it is. This is definitely an option that you can move towards. So I'm going to share this in a second here. All right, here we go. Boom. There we go. You guys should be able to see that.
Best places to buy used photography gear. These are the 4 best places to buy used photography gear. Do you need to buy new gear? No. As long as the gear is in great shape and it functions properly, the only downside to buying used gear is your ego doesn't feel as awesome. First spot is ShareGrid. I bought my 24 to 70 2.8 there and my 70 to 200 2.8. With ShareGrid, just know the gear is coming from other creators and you only have 48 hours to review it. But that's no problem. Just put the gear through the ringer, make sure it works right in those 48 hours. Second up is mpb.com. I haven't bought gear from them before, but I know tons of people who have. They all say it's great and they offer a 6-month warranty on their used gear. The third place is Adorama and the fourth place is B&H. Now both B&H and Adorama are big camera shops. They buy used gear from photographers and they rate that gear and sell it. But they absolutely know their stuff, so you can trust their rating systems. My name is Brian Rupp. I've been a professional photographer for 8
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the things you can do is buy used. You don't always have to necessarily buy new. And another thing I would add is rent. Renting is completely fine. I've rented a whole lot of things before. I've bought them from my local camera store. So that's one way of overcoming the hardship of having to deal with expensive gear in particular. Another thing that I would say is like the demands of the technical side of things, so skill development, which can be hard. Like many people can shoot and many people can shoot really great content for their clients and so on. But one thing that can be done in particular, one thing that can be daunting, I should say, in particular, is now having to go back and actually edit. And that is, that can be the daunting part. And this guy, he definitely understands what I'm talking about.
Come on. Oh, shit.
Here it is.
You can do this, you can do this. Come on. Oh, shit. Come on, come on, come on. You have to do this, bro. I'm so fucked. You can do this.
I can't tell you the amount of times that I have hyped up myself to do an edit, and I have like 30, 40 minutes of content and I have to bring it down to like 30 seconds. It's absolutely insane and you kind of have to psych yourself out for it. And This is something that can be very difficult to deal with. And Key, I saw your question. Yeah, so they're not all Canadian sites, but the one in particular, B&H, is probably the best place. One of the best places that you can get used gear. Another place is just like checking your local camera store, like Vistech or McBain. Like I periodically kind of like look at those places to kind of see like, you know, if there's anything that they have that I need, and that requires you to like go into the store sometimes because they can be a little slow to get their stuff up online in particular. So yeah, those are some other options, but B&H is also good options. They do have some like free shipping and different things of that nature to Canada. So even though it is I think they're based out of Utah, but even though they're based in the United States, they're definitely like the Amazon of cameras. So B&H is also a really good one. And the last one in particular is like, yeah, just marketing yourself. It can be very difficult to market yourself well as anybody in this industry, because we are all technicians, we're all creatives in some shape, some way, in some form. And for us to be able to now market ourselves, that can be very difficult. And this is what I saw that, you know, I found very interesting that I just wanted to share with you. This guy, David Shands, Sleep is for Suckers, he's really great. He says, let me tell you something that you might find interesting. Kai Sinek, he's a live streamer, amazing live streamer, is not a better creator today than he was 7 years ago when he started creating content. Call me a hater, but he's not better today than he was years ago. And it just shows you the video of him. And Kevin Hart is not funnier today than he was when he first started out in comedy clubs. Am I hating right now? I don't know. Let me know. Do you think Kevin Hart is funnier now? The real point is that they are exactly who they were before fame. The only difference is that they have more time to, which created more compounding, a compounding audience and a compounding network. And he goes on to say a whole lot of other things like Kendrick Lamar is not better rapper today than he was when he was broke. So like it all has to do with putting yourself out there and being consistent. That is the best way to essentially market yourself, is show up all the time, right? Just show up. Just do what you need to do in your content, in the space of creating content for your business and so on, marketing your business, putting out ads, whatever it is. Just do it consistently, every day, every week, every month, every year, just keep doing it, and you should be able to get to a place where you can look back and see that you've shown up every single time, no matter if there was an obstacle or not. This is the best way, is just consistency. And you may not necessarily get better, but you'll learn the nuances and learn how to better market yourself, if anything. But your skill level might be the same. It might grow just a little bit, but it may not necessarily be just this drastic thing. So these are some of the things that I have learned over my last 2 years of business, and it's not refined, it's not particularly gold, I would say, but these are the things that I'm taking into year 3 for myself, as I am going into year 3 in January, I think it is. So yeah, these are some of the things I just wanted to share, and my time is up. It's been up for like about a minute or so, but yeah, no, these are the things that I wanted to share. And I feel like if I would have paid attention to some of these things, because I knew some of these things, but I didn't necessarily pay attention to marketing myself, showing up on a consistent basis, or having a game plan of how much money I want to make on a regular basis and so on. Because I just thought as long as I show up on Instagram and different things of that nature, that people are just gonna come flooding in or whatever it is. But no, you got to get out there. You got to push your own product. You got to find a networking group. Shout out to my BNI friend, Zach Pentelope, that's in the comments. And he says that I don't think Kevin Hart was ever funny. You know what? That's true though. I don't think he's funny. I think he just does things that are funny sometimes, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's definitely not my favorite comedian at all. Dave Chappelle, now he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's definitely the GOAT. But either way, that's all for me today. If this is something that blessed your spirit, go ahead and like this. If this is something you want to keep up with, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, blow it up, people's elbow it, and all that great stuff. And if you want to get an alert of when the next one comes out, go ahead and do that. I would greatly appreciate that. Anyway, go ahead and do something creative today. Peace, y'all.